Alright, so it's a trend review of what's going on here. This is the Euro. I think I did this one before. But here, obviously, there was heavy selling on 26,000. Ability to push down price 56 pips. And then a rally on 42,000, which pushed price up 24 pips. This was high volume up here. I believe that was the initial area that the market accumulated. Right in... Damn, I can't find the arrow. There it is. That was that preliminary demand, you could call it that, but it's just buying off this area. And right off of that area. Then you had a really, this is your shakeout. Bang. And this is like, you know, a lot of times what you have is you have your sign of strength and then you have a break. Now, I don't know what to call the break. Some people will call it, oh, it's a shakeout. Some people will say it's a climax. I really don't care, but the whole point is it's a screw job. Okay, basically, it's a false impression that the market is going lower, and whoever's long here, they're out. Early longs get taken out. All right, so they see this, or whatever, and they see this. Oh, it's holding. Oh, it's a spring. This right here is a move to get rid of early longs and discourage early longs and trap new shorts. Okay, and all this, going around with the different verbiage like it's a shakeout, it's a spring, it's a terminal, this and that. Listen, look at the intent. The intent here is to give a false impression about what the market is going to do with this big bar and this clear break. The intent is to fool the traders. But if you already expect this, you're not going to get fooled. Okay? Because this is what happens all the time in these markets. There is a false move or I don't know what to call it. So that's what this is. But now, would you go long here? Obviously not, right? You want to wait for this and a pullback. So in this area, why? Because this is over, and this goes up on 34,000, and it takes out three tops. One, two, three. Very nice. Very nice. So now I'm looking at this. So far so good. I'm liking it. Alright. I like the higher time frame also. It's very clearly shows it's a rally, pullback, and I don't want to call it ABC correction or anything like that, but the correction is over and it's a strong rally on good volume. See? See arrow. Right there. That's nice. So to me, this is a continuation move. Now there may be a pullback here to test or some consolidation or additional accumulation or reaccumulation where it builds a base right here. That's cool. But as far as I see it, this is, the position is continuation. So not climactic, not that. It's basically your, where is it? My arrow. Damn it. Oh, there it is. Is this rally? Pull back, and then bang! Continuation on heavy volume. I love it. And it's holding support. Went right where it's supposed to go, where the breakout of the initial bar. Where's the fucking... There it is. Right there. I like it. This was the initial breakout, 1, 2, 3, 4, right here, and just went right there, and then continuation. So that, I mean, that's my read. So I like the euro, and I'm liking this behavior too. Why? Nice test, moving sideways. See that? See that? Very nice. Obtuse angle. Force of the supply is getting weaker. And I think this, even though this heavy volume, most of it is coming, I mean, not most of it, but a significant amount of it is coming within this little base right here. So, I like it. Alright, what else we got? Next is the GBP. GBP. These guys. Okay, they went down on 19,032, right? 19,032 pips. Why is it that you have more and half the pips? So immediately that is an indication of why can't I find my, oh, it's up there. That's where your initial effort was, right here. And this is not just effort reward. I mean, like, you know, it's effort reward after this move. Like, right, if you ask me if I'm gonna buy, obviously not. I'm not a dumbass, right? So over here it goes 19,032, 21,015, more volume, half the range, the price progress, and it starts moving sideways. There you have your base right there, and your beautiful breakout, a beautiful test on low volume right there. On top of this, it's like very similar to that jumping the creek right there. So, and I know, like, some folks probably went long, they got stopped out, but you just have to wait for the right indications and know where to put your stop. If you're gonna put your stop right here, obviously they're gonna run it. You know, if you put it below the prior pivot and it's not already in a strong uptrend, it's gonna get run. You know, they gave false rally signal right here, and then they did a spring of this area and then ran it. Okay, the key indication was, besides this effort reward and the rally, is a pullback on what? Low volume. Okay, there's only 4,000 contracts. I mean, I forgot what the unit is. Well, you know what I mean. 4,000, which is less than 11,579. And, you know, over here you had low volume, and you had low volume here too. You know, so it's understandable someone goes long, but they ran the stop. You know, just, what are you gonna do? If you don't know where to put the stop, you better put a hedge. Anyway, so it ran up here on good volume, pulled back 11,000 up and down in heavy volume, but this was your effort. Why? It's holding the low, 18,013 ticks, 11,021 ticks. So from 11 to 18, increase of significant number of volume, but unable to go down. Why? They're buying the pullback. That's why. And it rallies. So it rallies long and down. So there are many, you know, in Wyckoff, a lot of people ask, like, what's the trigger and this and that. There is no one trigger, but different traders use different methods. Some use springs, some use low volume pullbacks, which is classic, you know, and some use halfway back. Those are, I think, the halfway back, low volume pullback, effort reward, springs and up thrusts, and even breakouts. Like Wyckoff, he didn't just buy on the down wave on pullbacks, he also bought the breakouts, you know. So the breakout, when it breaks out, it's basically is buying on the up wave. Now he doesn't prefer to buy on the up wave because the stops are bigger, and he prefers to keep the entry very close to the danger point. Entry has to be close to the danger point, but the breakout is not an invalid signal. It is totally valid. And he even mentioned going long on breakouts, but then mentioned that it's not the optimal position to buy on the up wave, that he prefers to buy near the danger point on the down wave. So I mentioned a bunch of triggers. What else is a trigger? The biggest one, I think, would probably be the springboard formation. When market is on a springboard formation, and it's not easy to detect because you need to get the point figure chart. On a bar chart, it will look like a apex or triangle type wedge. It will look like that, but it's much more than just drawing two lines and making a triangle. That is the ideal. The ideal trigger, or when to buy, when to sell, is when the market is on the springboard. And again, it's not that easy to tell. So these are numerous things, but they all boil down to one of three things: buying on the up wave, buying on the down wave, or buying on a position like the springboard position when the market is when it's at a psychological moment where it's gonna fly, like shoot. So someone had asked me about that, triggers and stuff, so there you go. And you will see that some people are very inclined towards buying pullbacks because they have fear of loss, or they're very conservative. They're more driven by fear of loss. And other traders, they're inclined towards buying on breakouts because they have fear of missing the move. So if you try to take a breakout trader, turn him into a pullback trader, you'll see, you know, that it doesn't fit his personality. Anyway, so it rallies. Okay, so really like that low volume rally on high volume, pull back, effort reward. Then you have a thrust trigger right there, the green thrust. But that I only use when I have an indication. It's not just take a red or green bar. That's useless. You have to use it with, okay, it's on a down wave, it's correcting, you have an indication, it actually did a spring right here, it has effort, then it reversed on thrust, and it rallied. Market goes up on 35,000, pull back 13, goes up on 6, goes down on 17. I'm not a fan of this move up here. Why? Because it's a low volume rally, and that's not cool. More volume down, 17,000, and that's able to push price 13 pips. That does seem like it's more effort than the prior down wave, so it might, I don't know what's going to happen here. Where's my line? Just want to draw the lines here. Right there. And right there. Testing. Where's the resistance? Shit. Moving stuff around. There it is. There's your resistance up there. basing, it is basing, consolidating basing. I would like to see more. Anyway, let's take a look at the higher time frame on a point figure chart. So is the cause right there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What the hell? 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. About 8 or 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Around here. It looked like it absorbed this level. So this must have been reaccumulation. But how much more juice does it have? Not that much more. In fact, always. One second. Resistance. It broke out above this area. It broke resistance. Resistance was here. So it did break. Now let's take a look at the break. The break is on increasing volume. That's a good sign. See? That is a good sign. What's not a good sign is the spread isn't that big. But looks like it's just grinding higher. It went here, it pulled back, may have absorbed this area, popped, held, and continued to go higher. So, but it's not. I mean, the thrusts are by one box. That's not good. Like over here, look at the thrust. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, continuation, pull back, bang. So it's getting there. I don't like this, but it may be just because it's not. They're all sleeping. So anyway, so we're done with this. Now the market that I'm looking, because I think this is something going on here, something big. First, let me take a look at the lower time frame. It goes down, heavy volume, but guess what? It reverses back up, 53,000, pulls back only 3,000. First pullback draws out only 3,000. So let's get what I did with the support and resistance, but oh, there it is. Okay, it's going towards resistance. Now I think something is up. It rallied, pulled back, sprung, thrusted up, pulled back, held, rallied, pulled back, holding. But let me show you something's up in this market, in the yen. You see this? Something's going up. Like when it rallies and it hinges like that, there's something going on, and the cause across this area is 1, 2, 8, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's pretty nice. There's volume coming in also, slow and steady, right there. Increasing volume. And when it pulled back, it held, really nicely. It held the trend line right there. See that? It held. It's hinging, and it's at resistance. It might be absorbing or something over here. At resistance, looks like it's absorbing. There's a base, increasing volume here. Something is going on in this market. Like, this is a market that's about to go, in my opinion. Last time it hinged like that, look what happened. 1, 2, 3, 4, boom! So now 1, 2, 3, 4, but it's not the same because that was at a low, but it is in a similar look. Where's the resistance line? Damn resistance. Anyway, so up here is the resistance line, and it really looks like it's gonna bust right through and fly. Alright, now it may do the opposite. It may fail and go completely down. So you want to just watch the lower time frames to give a clean indication. It looks like it broke out, and it looks like it's holding support, and it looks like it's hinging for an important move. Is that move to the upside? Looking at this, it seems so. All that volume, not necessarily bearish. It goes down and it totally reverses. It goes 26 down and rallies on 53. So I'm going to watch these pullbacks. The first pullback indication, only 3,000 down. So as the market is at this position here, I want to watch the pullbacks to see if they materialize into something that tells me that the market is going to go down, or if they materialize into lack of supply, effort, springs, blah blah blah, and it fly like rallies. So I think this is the yen is really nice to watch. Look at this volume that came in, 53,000 on this wave. It's right at resistance right up here, and nothing. So we'll see. Maybe they do a spring or something. We see how, and it's a nice base of support across these highs, these minor cycle highs. So anyway, take care.